Hey, this will be a video chart on CEMJQ, Chemtura Corporation. Longtime follower of this one, and it's officially started to come back to life here. I'm guessing the last time I did this was one of these days where it had first started to show some life, because I see I have this resistance line here that is obviously no longer resistance. But let's just go back through this, and this chart will actually prove to be a very good example of the power of technical analysis and charts. Keep in mind that this line here, the red one you see, I have not touched it or moved it since the last time I did this video. So like I said, I think the last time I did it, the chart looked like one of these days, and this is where it was resistance, and it was just clearly a key level to get above. It was accomplished there, and this is where this chart would have been turned back into support, because resistances become supports when they are broken. So now it was support, and then let's just go through the progression here. Continue to go up, and then we had our little consolidation period here, and then look right where it pulled back to. If I extend this line out, like I said, I have not moved that, but this low here was at 67 cents, which was that key resistance, and when it became support, look right where this pulled back to, a low of 67. So bounced right off it. Great example of how support becomes a resistance, but then it becomes a support again, and held strong right there. So somebody was sitting there and got some shares right at that part, and now I'm sure they're much happier. But now let's dig into the real time here and what's been going on. So obviously another great day today, besides very evident bullish price action. Had nice volume, the biggest volume we've had since this day here in either late November or early December. So real nice volume, showing that there's plenty of people participating in this, and this is what you want to see on up days like this. You want to see high volume on breakout days like this. And you may ask, well, what was it really breaking out from? Well, clearly we had a pattern right here, where we had kind of the top right here, and then we had kind of an uptrend right here. So this little kind of almost little miniature bull flag pattern broke out of it today, and even did some other bullish things, which we'll get at here. But want to get it updated quickly, go over where some of these new supports and future battlegrounds are in terms of resistances are at, and that way everybody will have an idea of kind of what's going on from the charting perspective. So the first thing to update is just going to be our newest support level. And like I said, if you look down here, you can see that there is clearly a bunch of times where the price was trying to get through this level here. And this looks like it was right at about 84 cents. So 84 cents is going to be one of our new support areas that we're going to want to keep an eye on with any sort of pullback. That will be kind of an area where you'd hope to see the bulls hanging out, and pretty much just like 67 cents. If there's a pullback, you'd like to see it bounce off before heading back up. So these are going to be the two new support levels. This one actually becomes what I'm going to call the must-hold one, meaning you definitely don't want to see this level fall. If for some reason the price would happen to fall all the way back down here, you want to see this hold, because if it doesn't, it's more than likely going to head back down to the 200-day down here. But from where you close up here, that would take quite a bit to happen. The other support that we have is right here, the 50-day. This was a nice break and close above it. But what I'm going to do is make this a little skinnier, just because we close so close to it. If it does fall, nothing to freak out about or panic. Ideally, would it be nice to just kind of hover above here the whole time before making another move up? Yeah, that'd be great. But is it required? No. I mean, the chart would still look just as good, even if the price would pull back here and hover around a little bit before heading back up. So don't panic if that support level does if the price closes below that one, because like I said, it's not like we closed way up here above it. We just barely closed above it, so it doesn't have too much room to go to the downside before it would be back below it. Now, in terms of future battlegrounds and resistances, there's one that's kind of sticking out, and that's right here. You can see that if we look here, we had a high of $1.02, and then we had this right here, basically same area. So this is when it was resistance. When it was broken, it became support. You can see that it acted as support here temporarily, but then when it did fall, it acted as resistance here in this area. So that's why I am choosing this level here, $1.02 we'll call it. to act as resistance. Now, obviously, you could call it $1.02, $1.03, maybe even up to $1.05. Once you get above $1, things can kind of you know become more of zones. But for argument's sake, I'm just going to call it $1.02, and that's going to be our near-term support level, or excuse me, resistance. After that one, there's going to be another resistance level right around this area here at $1.17. So these will be the two battlegrounds going forward. I'm not going to go any more further than that. We got to take one step at a time, and first just make sure we have at least a healthy consolidation before heading back up. Maybe it'll keep going up, but regardless, I don't want to map out too many resistance levels, because sometimes you go a little bit too far than what you really should need to at a time. So right now we'll just focus on $1.02 and $1.17, and then hopefully be able to hold up of these support levels with any sort of pullback and consolidation. So overall, good looking chart. Nice to see this one finally starting to come back to life. Nice to see that it had some nice volume today with the bullish price action. So overall, firing on all cylinders here, and hopefully it'll continue going till Friday. But remember, sideways days and pullbacks, nothing to freak out about as long as support levels do hold strong. If there are any other questions on the chart, please shoot me a message. I'd also encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, and with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. And best part is it's all free, so it's worth at least signing up and giving it a try. One more time, this was CEMJQ. Thanks for listening.